Kay Frey, how are you?
Hey, Dan, how are you guys doing today?
Best moment last night was what at the Emmys?
There were a bunch. I on the red carpet and off, there were a lot of great moments. You know what? Let me see. Bryan Cranston last night was so giddy afterwards, and he was kissing any woman that would kiss him backstage. So
Wow.
when he gets to me, he has lipstick all over his top lip, and I'm just like, dude, you're just kissing any woman. He's like, any woman who wants to kiss me, I can. Because apparently he told me that he and Julia Louis-Dreyfus cleared it with their spouses that they could make out during that little shtick during the Emmys. And Julia came back and said, if I win, I want you to really grab me and really just plant one on me. So, and then she reminded him one more time, like, really kiss me. And sure enough, she wins, and he hopped up and he really kissed her. So that was kind of cool because he was just, I mean, literally, he was giddy backstage.
Who's the nicest person on the red carpet?
There are lots of you know what? It's the mean people that surprise you, not the nice ones.
Okay.
There are lots of nice people. I think that sometimes people get frazzled or a little crazy, and that makes them lose it. Because imagine this: you're walking down, you have 60 interviews to do, you have on heels that are killing you. It's hot outside, and people are looking at you, and some people probably hate what you have on. So that makes you get a little kooky. And so I think that's what happens. That people kind of lose it because of that.
Who's mean?
Who's mean? You know what? Last night everybody was in fine form because it was TV's biggest night. More people are more uptight at the Oscars, and they get a little weird, and they start walking by. That's the whole thing that trips me out when people just walk by when they're like, "We're not going to talk." I'm like, "Well, then why are you on the carpet?
Who walks by?
Why are you going to walk? Why are you on the carpet?
Who walks by?
Everybody was in the mix last night, Dan.
No,
in the
Oscars.
You, but I mean, like everybody was pretty much in the mix. The bigger stars now are like, they don't want to talk anymore on the red carpet. They just want to wave and get their picture taken. Really, a lot of the big stars this past year were like, they just walk by and waved, or they'll lean over and be like, "Hey, my man, I love you," and then they keep going.
Who looked
like, okay.
spectacular last night in person?
Wow, you know who looked spectacular? Julia Roberts looked great. Heidi Klum, so sexy. I mean, the weird thing about Heidi Klum is she doesn't mind standing very close to you. So it's weird because you're looking in her eyes, and I'm just like, crap, I'm looking in Heidi Klum's eyes. She looked great last night. So did Sofia Vergara always looks good. Kerry Washington, I just think, 4 months ago she had a baby. Now she looks as hot as ever. There were a lot of great-looking women. It's the best part of my job. Let me be honest. The best part of my job is you sit around and you might see a woman in a magazine or you're talking about, next thing you know, you're standing there interviewing them. It's bananas. That part's bananas.
Kevin Frazier from The Insider. But you're going back to entertainment tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. Starting September the 9th, I'll be on ET. I mean, that's where I started, so it's kind of like, full circle.
Well, so you're going to co-host with Nancy O'Dell?
By the way, you have her picture up in the cave. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I do. I love Nance. Yeah,
I know.
Very
She has
sweet.
a lot of love for you.
Yeah, I wanted to do that gig.
And did you? No, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you would enjoy the red carpet.
I couldn't do it, Kev. You're so good at being able to act like you're interested in stuff. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Dan, I would love to see you at one of these movie premieres where you're like, I just don't care. I'm not into this movie. Or when you're talking to cast members of a show you don't watch. Like every once in a while, somebody comes up and it's like, it's a show you don't watch. What do you do? Love the show.
Better parties, Oscar parties or Emmy parties?
Oscar parties. Here's why. Because for the movie people, they're so dispersed and spread out, and they never get to see each other, and they only spend 3 or 4 weeks together or, 3 or 4 months together making a movie. Then they're gone, and it's been maybe a year since they've seen each other. So they go bonkers, especially the winners, because it means more to them. And Hollywood comes out and really goes after it. The TV people had to go to work it was a school night last night. TV folks had to go to work. A lot of people had to get on planes and get back to New York to work. So a lot of people were like, hey, I got to go. I'm out. I'm done. Whereas the movie folks, they're like, I'm not making a movie for another month. Let's go all night. You'll see that. Those are the people that you'll see at 5 a.m. driving to work, still out eating a burger or something like that. Like all the limos are pulled up to In-N-Out Burger.
Gift bag situation at the Emmys.
I'm good, not Oscar worthy, and everybody tries to kind of downplay gift bags at the Oscars, and it's also the gifting suite stand. It's not as much where the night of the event as it is the suites. Go to the suites, and there are goodies being
like
given
what?
away. It's great. You know what? One of my favorites was last year during the Oscars. One of the gifting suites was giving away a trip to Antarctica. And you could take someone with you, and you would literally go on this really nice trip to Antarctica. Shoes, watches, telephones. I'll tell you what, Comic-Con was pretty off the chain as far as giving away stuff. Samsung went bonkers at Comic-Con.
Really?
It's funny because then you walk around Hollywood and it's like, oh, you went to the Samsung city, huh? Okay, I see that. I still have on I have UGG boots that I got at Sundance like 10 years ago, and I still wear them. And I'll see somebody out and be like, yo, those are the Sundance boots.
Here's our poll question: would you rather have the career of Bryan Cranston or Jeremy Renner? TV guy, movie guy.
Cranston can go back and forth and the stage. I'm not knocking Renner. I think he's doing well, and I think he has a new franchise on his hands. But, and Cranston's carrying around those Emmys like I'm going to go Cranston. I'm going to go Cranston. Because remember, he's done a lot of shows. He's done a lot of stuff.
Okay, here's one for you. James Gandolfini career, Philip Seymour Hoffman career.
I'm going to say Philip Seymour Hoffman because he was recognized as one of the greats in the movie industry. You know how there's like those 10 or 12 actors that, they decide what they want to do. And I'm not knocking Gandolfini. He's a great actor. I think that after The Sopranos for a minute, he had to search around for what he wanted to do. And when he found what he wanted to do, he realized that he was just as good behind the camera as in front of it. But I got to go Philip Seymour Hoffman because everything he did was like, he's like the Jordan of acting, Let's not say Jordan. Let's say Karl Malone of acting.
When's the last time one of these actresses hit on you at one of these post parties?
Do you know what? Let me say this now, okay? It's always just fun and games, and everybody's fun and flirty, and then you move on. But you always do look, and you're like, man, let me go home. That's my big mantra, by the way. Anyone in Hollywood, go home. Don't go out. Trouble's out there. Trouble's out there. And it's not, and you know what it is, Dan? It's not the big name actresses. It's the extras. It's it's the actresses on the come up.
Wait. Somebody from the show Extra?
No.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
By the way, Carissa's on there from Fox, so, she just moved over to Extra. I was talking to her yesterday.
We love Carissa Thompson.
She is great,
she's a great kid.
And I think she's going to do really, really good on Extra. It was good to see her.
Once again, if I had you fight Billy Bush, who wins?
Listen, I think I take it a lot more serious than Billy. I think that, once Billy gets a scar on his face, then, he might get in it. But early on, he's going to go for looks and the pretty look. But, Billy's in great shape now.
Oh, I know, but could you beat up Billy Bush? Flat out, Kevin.
Dan, come on. That's like, the host fights are silly. It's almost like it's like baseball fights. Guys hug each other, They walk around, they'd hold each other and not really fight.
Kevin, it was just a question.
That's what a host fight would be like.
It's yes or no. Could you take Billy Bush?
Billy knows the answer to that question.
Wow. Wow. You know who I'm going to take?
Who?
I'm going to take Billy Bush.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why?
Tell me why.
Wrestler.
I hear you.
Never mess with a wrestler. They get you on the ground. They put you in those.
Once they get you down, they can hurt you.
Absolutely.
Once they get you down, they can hurt you.
You got one shot. You got one shot.
Don't let them get you down. Remember Ali when he fought the wrestler from Japan? He never let him get him down. I would go the Ali route. There's no way I'm going down. Remember the guy just flopped on his back and waited for Ali?
Yeah.
And Ali's like, are you crazy? You're not going to get me on the ground. There's no way he would get me on the ground. I'm just telling you.
Tell Nancy.
And size matters, by the way. Size matters in a battle like that. Size matters.
Tell Nancy I said hello.
I will.
Get some sleep.
All right. Can I come on and talk sports once the basketball season begins?
Yeah, we'll see.
Football?
We'll see. If you fight Billy Bush, you know what? You come on, and if you beat up Billy Bush, then you get to talk sports.
Okay, well, let me just say this. Isn't it good enough to beat him in the ratings?
Oh, wow. All right. Good to talk to you. Bye, Kev.
All right, Dan.
That's Kevin Frazier from The Insider.